Hello everyone and welcome back to Danganronpa V2, Dangan fanfic, New World Order. We last left off, we woke up from our sleep, our first day in the academy, only to find out that there is, like it was in Danganronpa V3, there is a giant glass dome surrounding us and we can't break through it. Where shall you go next? Note, while your choice will not affect the story, if you choose one location you will not be able to visit the other. It is recommended that if you save, you want to see what happens in both locations. Oh, I see. So, I don't know. I think I'll head to the park. Think about my words, dear lamb. To be defined by your past is to willfully incapacitate your own growth. Oh, okay, so I'm assuming neither choice would have been that great, because if I'd gone Cafe, I probably would have found Dash, and if I'd gone to here, I would have found Levitica. I don't really like either of them so far. Our past shapes us, but it does not define us. I'll try not to think about it then. Thank you, Levitica-chan. Not a problem. Please do not hesitate to seek me out if you hold any lingering concerns. Understood. Hey, Blazy-kun! Florence-chan! What are you two doing here? Natalia? Why do you always look so shocked to see me? My bed hair isn't that awful, is it? It's more like... the dome. Daijobu, Blazy-kun. Could be much worse. In what ways exactly? Well, at least we're getting vitamin D. What say you, Levitica? Do your gods have anything to share? Better yet, which one of them is testing you? After whispering into the ears of all known gods, I have reached a unanimous conclusion. We are at the mercy of the kidnapping god himself. The kidnapping god? Though he prefers to be called the god of false imprisonment and scumbaggery. Claims it sounds less easy to mock. I take it neither of you have found anything important as of yet. Lie. EA, I'm afraid not. I thought she said lie, she said EA as if it's like Japanese for no. But we still have the whole day, and these immediate surroundings. The word that most readily jumps to mind is sugoi. Makes you want to sit down and take in the view, right, Levitica-chan? Oh? But of course. It seems we're not alone. I must know, for science! And I must share this information with my audience! Wonder what they're up to. Ah, Blaze, you've arrived just in time to witness the answer to one of life's enduring questions unfold right before your very eyes. I have no idea what you're alluding to, so I'll just ask. What is this enduring question? This just in. Our reporter stands poised to find out. Do robots really use the bathroom corresponding to the gender of their physical appearance? More on that at 6:30. Seriously? Come on now, Blaze. Trust me when I say I know what my audience wants. And the audience certainly wants to know. This could confirm whether Miyu's gender fluid status is merely a front. Look no further than a good conspiracy theory to get the audience talking. Oh, you weren't with her at the time? No. In fact, she suddenly stated that she needs to relieve herself before wandering off. And did either of you verify that she actually went into the bathroom? Is something the matter? My voice detection system heard my name go off multiple times. However, I was unable to respond since I was busy offloading excess data in the shade, under a tree, outside the bathroom. Apologies if my enunciation sounded awkward just then. For some reason, my intuition drive believed it to be the most suitable for this situation. It's like a dialogue tree. It appears she read you like an open book. An open book? Bookmarking information. Prioritizing primary action 124. Reading open books. Played like a fool. Damn, she's good. This is only the second time in my career this has happened. And so the deadly impact of false assumptions rears its ugly head once more. Sometimes it truly is easy to forget the breadth of your own humanity. Anyone other than you and I might have been surprised to hear it. Sigmund does seem one of the only sane people in this whole establishment. Anyway, it seems the park didn't have any hidden secrets after all. Florence, are you ready to move on? Oh, I've never been more ready. Where to next? We saved again. It's around midday and we still haven't found anything out about our situation. It was really smart of you to pack some extra food for breakfast, Florence. A rider must always come prepared. So really, it's nothing. Where should we go from here? There's a town in the distance. Maybe we should check that out? Where are we? Are we in like a whole, city? Agreed. We walk briskly into town. Oh my god! What? What is this place? Why is there a town in a school? Having so many buildings but no one around. Yes, this is certainly unsettling. Hold on. There seems to be a commotion happening up ahead. Oh? What rubbish! Let us do away with the usual niceties. I can simply smash this padlock and then we can be on our merry way. Come on, only beta scrubs resort to brute force and things. Just give me a few more seconds. Hey, look, it's Florence Nightingale, and she brought an elderly escort. Florence Nightingale? Hey! What's going on here? Ah, the dynamic duo. What are you both up to right now? The Divine Eyes have decreed that there's something of great importance inside this mansion. We must access it at once. Hey, don't look at me! It's Eden that wanted to come here! Remember, Magnus, my advice always works out for the better in the end. Sometimes. That's not always! Yes, no need to rub it in my face. Zeke, are you trying to pick the lock? Yep, it's a tricky one. Definitely harder than breaking into my own home. Then doing what? Let me listen to the pins. We watched as Magnus leaned in while Zeke continued twisting his lockpick. Okay, follow my instructions carefully. Twist your pick about 40 degrees to the left. Rotate it clockwise for about half a rotation. Yep. Now, turn. Click. Magnus, you genius! It's almost as if you're the ultimate navigator. Just kidding. Unlike Gramps over there, I'm not actually senile just yet. Ugh! Besides, lockpicking and navigating are two separate things, right? Oops, that was my file. Not quite. But let's not waste any more time. Daylight's burning. We walked up to the mansion. When we arrived at the door, Zeke grabbed the knob and turned. Obediently, it swung open. Before we could step inside... Surprise! What an idiot! Oh, it's Virginia, not Monokuma. Surprise! What an idiot, what an idiot. Virginia? And Mona too? What are you both doing in here? Communing? Yes. With Groot. Don't look at me. I have no idea what this idiot's talking about either. Just while we're here, why was there a lock on the front gate? Oh, that? When we found it, the key was still inside the lock, so we turned the key and walked through the gate. But then the gate slammed shut right behind us. So worried about getting locked in that we just had to go back and retrieve the key, right, Moans? Don't call me that. The logic there is sound, I get... Wait a minute, her logic doesn't make any sense at all. She didn't need to take the key. Groot. Besides, there was an intercom that you could have used to contact us if need be. Oh, there was an intercom? Oops. Looks like you and I both need to work on our map awareness, eh, Hunt? Yes. My superior British senses would certainly benefit from some additional fine-tuning. Since when did he become British again? But if the front gate was still locked, then we naturally assumed no one was inside, right? You guys certainly much sharper than the usual crowd. This is some next-level trolling right here! Anyway, my divine eye is telling me we should search the library. Then let us hurry over there, post-haste! This place is huge. How can we possibly find what we're looking for? Hey, Eden. Did your divine eye tell you where inside the library this information is hidden? No. Not that I'm surprised. It's always had a habit of being painfully unreliable and inconsistent. No matter! There are 8 of us here. Let us all use available manpower to sweep this whole place from top to bottom. Spoken like a true personal trainer. Let's get to it already. Within seconds, everyone had dispersed into pairs to different areas of the library. How about this? You search from that end and I search from this. Sounds fine by me. You spent a few minutes searching. Oh, didn't expect to see this here. What's that? Nothing. You watch as she hastily places the book back onto the shelf. As she does, the words "Shades and Grey" flash in the light for the briefest of seconds. A few more minutes passed. What's this? Did you find something? Motives... Oh, yeah, here we go. Motives for the first murder. You have been warned. Have you checked the contents? There's a bunch of newspaper clippings tied together. 3 of them seem to be on the same topic, though. The downing of Lucinda Airways Flight 11037! God damn it, I thought I'd be able to escape from this in this game, but clearly not. That is... You should call the others. Understood. Hey everyone, we found something! Clear and crisp. You really are a teacher. We waited until everyone had joined us. You called? Impressive manner of articulation, comrade. It certainly wouldn't be out of place in one of our many military schools. Would you perhaps consider? No thank you, but I appreciate the offer. Florence, I take it you know about this incident? Yes, indeed. It happened not too long after the conclusion of the original Killing Game. A passenger jet with more than 300 passengers on board crashed in the district of Terminus. It's a quiet place in Eastern Europe. A few of my novels are even set there. May I ask how you know of this incident? The plane was en route to my country when it crashed. As you can imagine, the incident dominated the headlines for quite some time thereafter. I tend to take note of things that draw publicity away from my story, so it's only natural I follow the case with close interest. But why would this be tagged as an incident? Surely this means it was no ordinary plane crash. Oh, you're not going to read my mind to find the answer yourself. I'm simply asking for the benefit of everyone. That too is what I have divined. No, you are correct. That was no natural accident. The investigators soon found fragments hidden among the wreckage which suggested the detonation of a pipe bomb. Data from the flight data recorder also supported such a conclusion. The pilots didn't even have a chance to send out a distress call. So many lives wiped out in the blink of an eye. Thankfully, the culprit was arrested shortly after and extradited overseas. He was apparently visiting for a holiday. I hope he enjoyed it. It was the last holiday he ever took. You don't mean... Yes, he was soon found guilty and executed for his crimes. Executed? In my world, that is a completely different meaning. But I see. The terrorist blew up the plane and then was stupid enough to get caught. What a total noob! Are you sure about that? Virginia, do you have something to say? I also followed the case quite closely. If you're a great secretary, you end up with a lot of free time. There's only so much group content out there, so I ended up reading the news. Usually I wouldn't feel such disbelief if a secretary admitted to reading the news. I don't think he did it. You think you know more than the investigators and jury because... Groot, I knew you never believed me, a mere troll. You probably don't even think I'm his secretary. Well... Sorry, Virginia. I'm doing this for everyone else's sake. Groot? Virginia thinks that the way the terrorists acted isn't consistent with the way the guilty normally behave. She thinks, from experience as a troll. That is what I have divined. You totally just read my face. In that much detail? Oh crap, I just had my shredder on. Oh no. That's not good. So the guilty usually behave in a certain way? Yes. In most cases, there are certain tells. A twitch of the eyebrow, a minor change in tone, a slight smirk. Yep, I'm familiar with the last one. However, I saw none of that when they broadcast the terrorist testimony. If I didn't know any better, I'd almost say he was framed. But what do I know anyway? I'm just a lowly secretary. My observations would never be admissible in the court of law. I wouldn't exactly blame the judge. You sure about that, Virginia? The evidence was very damning. No, but how is this a motive? How is this a motive? Was someone here, like, involved in the incident? Did someone else cause it? You sure about that, Virginia? The evidence was very damning. You could convict a pickpocket dozens of times over with the stuff they managed to dig up. Again, it's just a hunch. A Groot hunch, but it's still a hunch. Besides, why would they need to cover up the aftermath if they were so sure he did it? What's this about a cover-up? You should probably ask Elisa about it. She may know more about the way the story was handled. Looks like we'll have some interesting things to discuss later on. Considering this incident is supposed to be tied to our Killing Game's first motive, we should be careful. What are you suggesting, comrade? Now, this is just a hunch at this stage. But I suspect that at least one person in our group may be deeply connected to this incident some way. And this connection may be strong enough motive to kill. Why else would there be such labeling? On the other hand, this whole thing could be just an elaborate ruse. The incident was resolved, was it not, comrade? I can't believe I'm saying it. At this stage, I'm inclined to believe that Virginia might be onto something. This is clearly far from an open and shut case. Never trust a troll. Or one day you'll wake up with no pants. What? I finally see. The Divine Eye has an interesting request. A request? Yes, it's telling me to hold a divination seance. What's this, Comrade Eden? It's a special gift granted by the Divine Eye. A seance. Seances never go well. I don't know why we're going along with this. Did I miss a bit? No. By tapping into its powers, I can recreate a deceased person's final moments. All of the senses save for sight, as their eyes are now forever closed to the world. I actually like that line. Crap. I think I've heard this before. Traveling psychics called to assist the police with verifying certain details of a murder. So kind of like... kind of like Maya from Ace Attorney, that's the word I was looking for. Alright. If only you weren't limited by the lack of sight. I can only imagine how powerful your seances would then become. And how do you know this isn't just some made-up mumbo-jumbo? Well, looks like there's only one way to find out. I've been looking forward to involving such a large audience. Usually it's just the one detective. So, what do we have to do? Grind some leaves and smoke it? Dim the lights and say someone's name while speaking into a mirror? For now, let's start by just dimming the lights. You will oblige. Ooh. I'm gonna save, I'm worried. Someone's gonna die. Is someone gonna die? I hope not. Comrade Eden, how exactly will this work? On 3, close your eyes and empty your mind. After that, we'll witness the final moments of one of the plane's passengers through their senses. It's a tad hard to explain. The basic idea is you'll see the victim's interpretation of their senses pop up as words. Some words will be a smidgen bigger than the others. Bigger just means they're feeling it more strongly. Everything also shows up in rough chronological order. The time gap between each of the interpretations is also more or less accurate. Emphasis on more or less. I know it's a real mouthful, but trust me, it's easier shown than explained. Fascinating. Do you know the identity of the passenger we'll be looking into? Things get complicated when there's a large concentration of death in one area. Identities are blurred. I'm simply following the Divine Eye's instructions. It wants us to see this. Is everyone ready? Yep! Also, Virginia, it goes without saying, but please, no trolling. I hadn't even considered it. Sure! Okay, on 3. 1, 2, 3! Oh, it's working. Heavy breathing. Phone. Walking. Smash! Screaming smoke, wind. Alarms. Laughing. Laughing. Pleading. Bang! Lightness. Pain. Oh, Jesus. Does anyone wish to see it again? No. Hell no. No, that wasn't just a feeling. Something's definitely wrong here. Several things. Y'all can turn the lights back on now, by the way. Everyone scrambled to oblige. So, does anyone remember where the light switches are? Just sit back, I'll do it. Is something the matter, Eden? It's nothing. I got so scared that someone was gonna die there. I just have a request of y'all. Please, speak not of the seance to the others. They must not know what we just saw. For now, we should talk no further. Remember it, but do not be preoccupied by it. We can discuss it when the time is right. But why? That's a new expression from Hun. Surely this will be help to the whole group. There's so much I want to ask too. It's not the Divine Eye speaking this time, but mere instinct. I sense there is no merit found in further discussion. In fact, I may have already made a fatal mistake. A fatal mistake? What's going on? Affirmative, comrade. I should have trusted your judgment as the ultimate psychic. I think she's talking about maybe what if one of the people who was in that seance, like, was part of it. Now she's just given them a motive, I think is what she's saying. How boring, but it's fine. I'll take this as a challenge. Virginia? What? Do you guys not trust me? Well, that's okay. I shall tell Crude and no one else. I swear it on my honor as a troll and part-time secretary. Part-time? Before long, everyone present had sworn an oath of secrecy. According to my calculations, dusk is fast approaching. Shall we continue searching for a bit, then meet up later with everyone to discuss the findings? Might as well. But man, searching is so boring and time-consuming. My mane is probably decayed to Challenger by now. Oh, poor you. Out of the corner of your eye, you see something glinting with the briefest of moments. After continuing the search for another hour, you all decide to head back to the cafeteria. Dash? What are you doing? Sir, just checking the... Excuse me for a moment. He walked off. Oh, welcome back, everyone. Mona, you look a bit, She's trying not to say it. Wow, Mona, since when did you get rid of that resting bitch face? No reaction at all. Ah! Hi, everyone. I do believe we haven't met yet. I'm Mona. Pleased to meet you! How confusing. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance too, Mona. I'm Grace. Don't worry about that. I share memories with my other half, so there's no need to reintroduce yourselves to me. About me, though. I'm an inventor. I look forward to getting along with you all. This girl. She's sure to be an asset to the group. I can feel it in my war-weary British bones. Oh, Zeke, what have you done? I'll, just pick up where Dash left off, I guess. She walked over to the glass and started observing it. Hey, you see a Ibuki pose? I love this pose. I love it when Ibuki does this. Like, I mean, I'm doing the pose in real life, but you can't see that because I have no webcam, but... Yep, just as I thought. It's artificial. Artificial? You don't mean... Exactly what it says on the label. Let me show you. She reached for the doorknob. As the door swung open, it was as if a hole had been cut through the wall itself. Where would we be without technology? In a darker age, that's for sure. In the distance, you can hear someone screaming something like... sounds vaguely like -9! At this point, I won't be surprised if the whole town was revealed to be artificial. That would be pretty believable too. This town is as if my internal compass has been thrown into disarray. Everyone's already back. We had quite the day, didn't we, Siggy? Miyu. Please don't call me that! They both make eye contact. Oops. At times like this... Jinx! I knew it! This robot, it really likes to one-up me, doesn't it? Did you just... I'm pretty sure that's a sign of respect, Siggy. She learns by communicating with people, remember? I, for one, feel she's made incredible steps today. High five, Siggy! I suppose anything is better than crazy Socrates. Gradually, everyone returned to the cafeteria. Finally. Sorry about that, ma'ams and sirs. That was very unbecoming of me. What is he talking about? I feel like I've missed something important. Oh, nothing like that, I assure you, sir. You're worse than a client that doesn't want to go full lethal. I said nothing. Back to the matter at hand. Was anybody able to find anything of use today? Nothing on our end. How devilishly typical of him. Leaving no evidence behind as usual. Him? He isn't talking about his arch nemesis again, is he? Nothing from Dash and myself. On the plus side, I learned how to cook some more complicated cuisine. Which reminds me. She rushed out the room before returning, holding a large tray in each hand. Here, Grace, let me give you a hand. It's very kind of you to offer, but I can handle it myself. I must prove I can do everything without their help. Okay, then. We watched as she brought in tray after tray of delicious-smelling food. Miyu, you're... There's liquid leaking out of the corners of her mouth. Come to think of it, do robots even need to eat? I don't remember seeing you eating anything during breakfast. It's a bit complicated. One of my potential sources of power is alcohol. I think my body is designed to react to it. That must be the red wine I used in the herring paint. Feel free to try it out. Are you sure? I mean, wasting food on a non-sentient being like myself. Oh, bloody heck. Of course you're sentient, Miyu. Don't let anyone ever tell you otherwise. Well, in that case, don't mind if I do. And it was thus not a single drop of alcohol entered anyone's bloodstream that evening. Ah, Elisa, we found something that might be of interest to the group, but we figured you might know more about it than anyone else. Oh, am I being interviewed? Well then, shoot! Ask me anything you want. Okay, I'll try to keep this efficient. Does the downing of Lucinda Airways Flight 11037 mean anything to you? Ah, God's sake, I cannot get over that. We found a document on it in the library, so it looks like something important. A sudden chill overtook the room. Certainly. I lost many of my colleagues in that crash. Many good people, too. They were right to put that terrorist 6 feet under for all I care. It was one of the hardest stories of my career, and my life wasn't even in danger. About the aftermath. Do you know of anything might have been, say, covered up? We were hushed into silence. A journalist must always protect their sources after all. But I take it they weren't the original source? Who cares what some snooty government official in their fancy suit thinks? You can tell us, and if this is being broadcast, you can show the world the courage befitting of a future leader. You're right. What kind of ultimate journalist would I be if I kept turning away from the truth? You can do it, Elisa, you can do it. And start! Good evening, everyone. This is your newsreader, Elisa Cassidy, reporting to you live with some breaking news. Upon investigating the identities of the persons killed in the downing of Lucinda Airways Flight 11037 just 2 days ago, it was found that one of the candidates selected for the 49th batch of applicants was among the victims. More on that shortly. So someone in the... I'm assuming the 49th batch of applicants was, were the participants of the first killing game. So maybe one of the victims was a survivor of the first killing game? Furthermore, a suspect has just been arrested after it was found that the pipe bomb smuggled on board the plane was concealed within his luggage. Due to an administrative error, his luggage had been placed on the flight that departed 1 hour later than the one he was scheduled to take. But it was just a simple error or a sign of something bigger? But was it just a simple error or a sign of something bigger? I, for one, would like to know. This is Elisa Cassidy reporting to you live from PKIS. Sorry about that, everyone. I just thought it'd be more accurate if I've delivered the story exactly as I did word for word on the day. That is more than fine. Such a splendid rendition, fit for the god of voices himself. I too can appreciate the value of a Sugoi recreation for making point yarn. Good work, Elisa-chan. Oh, I know, Natalia. I know. Was it just me, or did something seem amiss just then? Ah, yes, I think I remember this story. I was sitting in McDonald's ordering some fries and coffee at the time. I was emblazoned across the front page of their complimentary newspapers. I seem to recall that the evidence was rather incontrovertible. The trial lasted only a few days. Strange. The divine eye is throbbing. Something was definitely amiss with that statement. Finally ready to join the club? Now we have 2 reliable sources of information to challenge all that evidence. A troll's hunch and a psychic's weird glowing eye thingy. Unlike you, my glowing eye thingy allows to make court-admissible statements. Depends on how religious the country is. Religion, always a pain in the ass. I do not profess to speak for my fellows, but hearing what you said, that is what I live for. It would be my pleasure to correct your path, to show that without guidance the human mind can be a hollow vessel indeed. I don't think I like what you're insinuating. I think she's hitting on you! Oh, don't you start. So about your story, comrade. There seems to be 2 main points of interest. Yes, 2 pressure points! Very good, sir. I thought the same thing. Such a line of reasoning also adheres to my secret method of crafting the perfect flat wine. Well, hey! What's this? Which 2 pressure points are you guys talking about? Firstly, some poor sap from the 49th batch was killed in the accident. That's only 1 down from us! Very good, sir. Oh, no. So they weren't the participants... Are they the participants of the previous killing game? Or are they just the batch from a different... Yeah, they're probably just a different batch. And as far as I'm aware, none of the other batches have undergone any changes. Well, not officially anyway. But wouldn't someone have noticed if a batch had been reshuffled? Let alone if someone from another batch had died. I sense there have been some tampering going on from a high position. I never thought I'd see the day where 2 people with the most posh accents would form a spontaneous tag team. Natalia, what do you think about this? See, the one thing I actually do sort of like about this game that I didn't mention before is how these guys, unlike like literally any other character or like in the main Danganronpa trilogy, actually know about the events of the previous killing game before the game actually happened. Like, I understand why Danganronpa 2 and V3 didn't do it, but like it's a very, very interesting thing, because like Danganronpa 1 had its killing game. Danganronpa 2 didn't remember this killing game until Chapter 4, when Monokuma gave everyone the profile on it, and Nagito stole it for himself. And they didn't know about the previous killing game until then. And Danganronpa V3, like, its big plot twist was based on the fact that there have been 53 different killing games, so it would make sense if, like, they didn't know that previous ones had been fictional either. But here, like, everyone knows of the events of the previous killing game in this universe prior to their own one, and I really, really like that. I seem to recall you did some cross-referencing across other batches. Oh, hi! No, it's just as Dashkin says. The records show no signs of being amended. This definitely stinks of a cover-up. You seem a bit distracted. Is something the matter? Who, me? Ai, daijoubu. I'm fine. The strangest thought just occurred to me. What if the plane bombing was a targeted attack? Grace? What makes you say that? I'm just thinking back to when I... Oh, never mind. Anyway, what's the simplest way to ensure that an event is cancelled? Do you sabotage just one pair of skates or all pairs? Yeah, I was never that good with analogies. But I hope you can sort of see what I'm getting at. Yeah, she's basically saying, how do you make it so that an event gets, like, I don't know. Like, would you rather kill one person or just go the easy way out and kill all of them? Do correct my path if I've been led astray, but you were suggesting that someone indulged in the greatly profane to disguise their moderately profane intent? Oh, right, so they killed loads of people to hide the fact that they had a target. Still, like, did anyone understand what the hell either of them just said? Forgive me. I am simply trying to speak in a manner that will be understood by all life, including the gods, old and new. I think I understand. To use my completely hypothetical situation, the grand act of total sabotage was done to achieve a much simpler goal, cancelling the event. Similarly, the act of blowing up the whole plane may have been done to disguise the targeted murder of the 49th batch candidate. Well, why don't you just say that to begin with? The journey to this answer was far from satisfactory. When even the philosophers annoyed at how vague you are. Well, because that would be the same as admitting that I... Never mind. It certainly does make sense. One thing the prosecution was never able to establish was the motive. Why would the terrorists need to blow up the entire plane? What was their agenda? They had no prior affiliation with any religious or political organizations. Their psyche profile was even that of an ordinary person. So remind me, how did they end up getting convicted again? As far as I can tell, there are many shady elements to this case that warrant further calculation. Because hard evidence isn't something that can just be ignored. Emotions are not valid in a court of law. Moreover, the state-appointed defense attorney, he never brought up the fact that his client apparently had no motive. If we take this logic the whole way, there was no reason for him to even target the attack of the 49th batch candidate in the first place. Silence, everyone! Sorry, that was completely tactless of me. I'm still trying to fine-tune the way I am able to draw attention. In doing so, I accidentally selected the most aggressive option. It's okay, honey. Comes with the turf. You were saying me, you? Well, if you are to apply logic to your assertions, consider this. If a motive does not exist, it is because that is simply the truth, or because it was obfuscated? I think we're generally leaning toward obfuscation here. That's usually the case when there's been a suspected cover-up. Cover-up. That wasn't even a dirty joke! What the hell is wrong with you? Recalibrating. That then begs the question, what is the real motive? Who would stand to gain something from the actions of that terrorist? All other 49 batches, of course. With one candidate eliminated, everyone else would naturally have less competition. Why does she look so pleased about it? Rephrasing statement. Who would stand to gain the most from the actions of that terrorist? A heavy feeling settled over the room. She's talking about us, of course. Jeez, you guys are such scrubs. And, of course, he's the one to say it. So many lives lost as collateral to help us. The 50th batch? The logic is sound. Since we're the 50th batch, the next closest batch is naturally the biggest threat to our position. The stakes are also higher. If none of the other batches are able to prove they're better, we become the next world leaders by default. Every single person counts. And thus we have come to the heart of the matter. Someone was likely, as you humans say, pulling the strings behind the scenes. That person orchestrated the bombing of an entire plane, likely to cover up the fact they were targeting just that one person. For what reason, we cannot say. Then they also had the resources to cover it up. That is the conclusion my logical reasoning drive is pushing me towards. It sounds pretty far-fetched though, doesn't it? No, it definitely sounds plausible. The idea that the bastard who murdered my colleagues is still out there somewhere, and a scapegoat was executed in their place? Oh, that's a new expression, I must say quickly. It couldn't be! Nachan? Nothing. She's realised already that one of us was probably responsible. One of us has got to be a mastermind, and I'm not sure who. And to put the topping on this giant burger, the real culprit is likely to be someone affiliated with the 50th batch. And possibly even one of us? True. Now this is exciting. I haven't felt so alive in 15 years. Well, hey! Can you believe this me-you person is my roommate? I, for one, feel so blessed to bunk with someone so talented. You are too kind. Everyone! I believe that this is enough excitement for one day. I submit that it would be better to discuss this tomorrow when we are all properly roused. That is what the whispers have conveyed. Yes, indeed. Be sure not to underestimate the value of a good night's sleep, everyone. You don't need to convince me. There's a couple of hours before my usual bedtime. I think I'll just wander around the school. Don't you really usually do that during your sleep hours anyway? It's a different type of wandering, you wouldn't understand. And just like that, everyone started dispersing from the cafeteria. Magnus is right. It's still way too early to go to bed, and I doubt that too many people here are the early sleeping type. What should I do? Free time! It's time for another episode of Narrator Time. Well, I'm going to save here then in that case. I know I just did, but if I'm going to pick who to hang out with. During certain stages in your daily kidnapped life, you will be allocated time to spend on free time events. Free time events are bonus sequences where you can interact with the characters to learn more about them. In each chapter, there will usually only be one free time event sequence. Fun fact, this one took up roughly half the chapter's overall word count, so you can expect it to be quite lengthy if you wish to play through it thoroughly. However, you are likely to find it worth your time if you like the characters or simply want to learn more about them. Generally speaking, though, they will not affect the overall story. Wait, so there's only one per chapter? Yeah, only one free time event sequence, I got it. However, they may foreshadow future events or feature discussions on what has just happened. Moreover, you are free to visit literally anyone during these segments if you wish. Speaking narrative to player, it is strongly encouraged that you at least attempt them all. After all, it's like there will be a big break before the next parts get released. It will hopefully make the wait less excruciating. Note also, these free time segments will prompt you to make a choice. Be aware that choices made during free time events are impactful, but not to the overall story. Based on your selection, you will get either a bad, good, or excellent response. The excellent response will trigger bonus dialogue that would otherwise be unavailable if you received either of the two other responses. Most of these bonus conversations are very short, after all they are just a bonus. If you don't trust your ability to gauge how a character will react to your responses, this narrator recommends saving before making your choices. Note that doing a free time event even successfully will not remove it from your options. How many save files do I actually have? I only have like 5. You're free to try out each of them as many times as you wish. It is simply faster to say, hint hint. Finally, if you are the sort of person who hates socializing, you are free to just continue with the story. You dirty anti-socialist you. Yes, that's actually a word. Smexy overlay in 3, 2, 1. Hey! Alright, can I save? Yes, I can. Alright, so, I am going to leave this thing here, but let's see. So in the cafe, we are in the cafe. Oh no, cafe and cafeteria are 2 different things, alright. Cafeteria, so there's Levitica, Zeke, Virginia, Miyu, Grace, and Phoenix. In the cafe, there's Dash, Pierce, Florence, Mona, and Elisa. And in the park, there's Sigmund, Natalia, Eden, Magnus, and Hunt. Right, I'm actually gonna think on this. I don't quite know who to hang out with. Like I said so far, my favorite is Miyu, but I'm thinking of, like, giving the other characters a chance, so... I might do everyone's, like, before we move on, so... For now, though, I'll leave things here. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next video, where we finally do these free time events. I might pick one to do as part of the... I'll tell you what I'll do. I might pick one to do as part of the overall story, and then when I finish the chapter, I'll come back to the rest of them. So I'll see you all later. Goodbye!